this is Kara from Health, Home, and Happiness, and today I want to talk about the problem with studies. And so the problem with studies is that they take an isolated compound, like I just did this, and this is what brought it to mind, was vitamin D. And yes, my family benefits greatly from including vitamin D in my diet. We live in Montana. I don't know if you can see out my window, but it's snowing outside. So when we go outside, we're pretty much covered head to toe. There is no UV light getting into our bodies except for maybe a little bit on our face. And even then we're rushing from the car to the store, and we even park in the garage, so we're not even going from the car to the house. So anyways, I just sourced in my study, and I showed you sources, and they are studies and they're scientific studies, that low vitamin D can cause problems with your bones, problems with your mood, problems with inflammation, all sorts of problems. But then the problem with that is that vitamin D is not the answer to all of those. So yes, lack of vitamin D or lack of certain substances can cause problems and all of that, but it doesn't mean that everybody that has a problem with their bones, has a problem with their mood, is deficient in vitamin D. So that's just something I wanted to talk about right now, is that that's kind of a problem with studies, and I see that all the time. People are just like, meat has been shown to increase inflammation. It's been shown to do this. Okay, so well, let's take a little bit, zoom out, look at the study. So when they studied meat, you have to ask all of these questions when you're looking at a study. And so they might have said in their little conclusion at the bottom of the study, meat causes blah, 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 blah. More often than not, it's the news media or it's the person with the bias, which we all have biases, that's understandable. But anyways, you just need to pay attention to what that particular person's bias is. So if it's a raw vegan that's telling me, this study says meat causes inflammation, it causes cardiovascular disease. Let's zoom out. What does the study actually say? So the study says people that eat meat as part of a regular diet compared to raw vegans who are going to care about their diet a lot more than the standard American. So what they're essentially doing is comparing the standard American diet that's full of fast food, full of hydrogenated oils, full of refined grains, and then a little bit of red meat thrown in, compared to a raw vegan diet. And of course the raw vegan diet is going, because it's all whole foods, there's not those adulterated oils. Usually raw vegans avoid those. So that study, yes, is going to show that the raw vegans have lower inflammatory markers, they have less heart disease, they have less all of these problems. Does that mean that meat, just because meat is included in the standard American diet, is the problem? No, it does not mean that. So that is the problem with studies, and that's something that whenever you click on a news article that says, oh, coconut oil causes heart disease. Well, let's take a look down at the bottom. Usually there's a works cited or whatever. And look down at the bottom at that thing, click on the actual study. What does the actual study study? Does it study coconut oil? Does it study coconut oil, like 1 tablespoon a day plus the standard American diet? Okay, that's not a good study. That's not gonna work for us. Does it study all saturated fats and assuming, oh, coconut oil is a saturated fat, so therefore hydrogenated margarine is going to cause the same problems as coconut oil? If that's the study, we cannot say coconut oil causes heart disease. We need to look at coconut oil. Does coconut oil cause heart disease? No, I don't think it does. Do I have a study that proves that? No, it's really hard to prove a negative. So anyways, that's the problem with studies. In general, I just say if it's a traditional food, it's been used thousands of years, if we're not like super messing it up, or if we're not adding tons of refined carbohydrates to it, then it's probably good for us. If you take that food out of your diet for a week, add it back in, and suddenly you're getting chronic sinus infections, you're getting inflammation, you're getting all sorts of problems in your own body, maybe you have an allergy to it, or maybe it's just not good for your particular body, but that doesn't mean that it causes problems in all people. So anyways, that's the problem with studies. I'm gonna link up above to some of our recipes and our studies that we have looked into on my blog. And if you could subscribe over there, I would sure appreciate it. I'll see you later.